Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Brandy. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I kind of do a little bit of everything, or I'm trying to mainly. Currently, I am doing a cosplay that I am finished with, but I haven't come out with the video yet because, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll go over it when I make that video. Last month I did a what I read in January, and this time I'm going to do what I read in February. So February was a little bit of a hard mental month for me. I didn't really feel well. Was depressed a lot. I still am. Working on it though. So if this video seems off-putting, I am sorry. I am trying. And excuse my maskne. I'm back at work at full time, so I have to wear a mask obviously, and it is not doing me well. And of course, I threw away my brand new makeup on accident. You gotta love life, right? Alright. Anyways, so we'll get started. So I'm loosely following along with a year-a-thon's reading prompts. And for February, it was authors new to you. So the first book I read was The Secret of the Tulip Sisters by Susan Mallory. And again, like I said in my first video, I am sorry. I'm going to butcher everybody's names. I'm trying. I'm sorry. This book is about a family who owns a tulip farm. Whole bunch of shit happens. Actually, I DNF'd it, so I don't know really too much about it. I couldn't get into it. I got into like 100 pages or worth, and I wasn't feeling like the story was really going nowhere. But again, I'm not into romance novels as much, so that could have played into it. I did give it a 3 out of 5 stars, but don't let that deter you if you like romance novels. It's just not for me. Didn't find it fun. It was just not much going on. It's just basically a day-to-day life story of these people, and for some reason I just couldn't get into it. No hate. Moving on, the next book I read was Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I loved this book. I don't know why so many people dislike it. It was super interesting. I don't think I've read any books like this lately, and this book is about an all-girls school off the coast of New Jersey on a little island, and a mutation comes around. They call it the tox, that is very contagious, so they've had to quarantine. The main girl, Hetty, she's lost all sight in her right eye. It's completely closed shut. Another girl has like 2 spines. One girl gets boils that it's insane. Anyways, you're mainly following 3 girls. Hetty, Byatt, which it may be pronounced a different way, but that's the only way my brain could think of it, and Reese. But Hetty and Byatt are the closest of best friends. They do everything together. So one day Byatt goes missing. You're trying to follow along with Hetty trying to get Byatt back, and also figuring out what the tox is. It just was so good. I will say, while I was reading it, I didn't want to put it down, but it was hard for me to pick back up. Like, every time I thought about reading it, I just was like, I'll wait a little bit longer. But like when I was reading the book, I was so into it. So there's that. I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars. When I got to the end, I could not believe it was the end. I turned the page, like, got to the page, read it, and then flipped to the next page to read more, and there was nothing left, and my heart was broken, and I need another one, or at least more closure than this. I need to find out what happens. I need to know so much more. So last month I read The City of Ember, which I had actually watched the movie first and then wanted to read the book. So I did have a couple other books on my TBR, so I wanted to see if I liked them as much as I liked the movie, because the movie or TV show made me want to read the book. So the next book I read was All the Bright Places by Jennifer Naveen. I'm speechless. This book left you feeling a whole lot of feelings. If you don't like reading, I definitely recommend the movie. I've watched it 3 times, cried every time. It's about Theodore Finch, who is obsessed with death and always dreams about ways that he could die, but he's always looking for ways to live. He wants to live. He doesn't want to succumb to his dark thoughts and die. So it starts when he meets Violet Markey and he talks her off of the bell tower. So you find out why she's up there later on. They eventually later on get paired in a school project that they have to do where they have to go around and explore all of the great things of Indiana. And it's basically two characters breaking out of their shell to help one another overcome things, kind of things like that. And it's just amazing. It's such a great story. I feel like it's a different spin on mental health issues that I feel like the author described mental health in a way that not many people have, and I really found it insightful and on the nose, basically, about waking up and falling asleep kind of thing. If you read it, you know. But I enjoyed this. I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So I highly recommend this book, especially if you like that kind of stuff. It is sad. There are trigger warnings, so be careful if you have bad urges. The next book I read was Big Little Lies by Lane Moriarty. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is about a murder mystery in a way. You're kind of piecing that together. It's normally just, so you're trying to figure out the murder mystery. It takes place a couple months before it happens, so you're kind of getting the story back and forth. It's kind of one of those things where like you're getting the present tense, but then you're learning about the past tense until it catches up. If you can hear that sound, sorry. I'm gonna continue on. So I will say I did like the TV show a little bit better. I feel like it explained it more in a better way, an understandable way. The book was great. Honestly, they were so similar. There wasn't that much difference. The ending of the book is different from the TV show, but it makes more sense from the TV show. I get why they changed it. I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I do recommend either or, honestly. If you don't want to read, watch the TV show. If you want to watch, or if you don't want to watch the TV show, read it. It's a good book across the board. So the next book I read was Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This book was really good. It's about a family that gets frozen, put onto a ship, or airship. I don't know, what do you call those? Not a plane, but sure, a spaceship. And they're getting sent to another planet that they found similar to Earth. And her family is going to help revive that to make it more sustainable for humans to live. So it's 300 years away, hence the frozen. Along the way, you find out that the ship has people living on it to help run it, to help get it there safely, so obviously you have to grow food, do this, blah, 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 blah. So there's generations of families that have grown on there, because 300 years is a fucking long time. Until one day, the main girl, Amy, who is the family from beforehand, I should have said that, sorry, wakes up unexpectedly. And you're going through her life of trying to figure out what happened, and there's something going on where now all these frozen people are dying. They are being woken up before they're supposed to, and because they're not getting it done correctly, they're dying from it. It's intense. It's very intense. It did remind me of Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. So just a lot more mystery, a lot more stuff behind it. It's not just as simple as Passengers. Along the way, you find some things out about the ship. You find some things out about their journey. It was really good. I'm excited. I want to read the next one. I want to find out what's happening. I want to know what's going on. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. So I hope you guys enjoy it if you read it. And the last book I read in February was a reread. Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I reread it obviously because Chain of Iron is coming out March 2nd, so I wanted to make sure everything was fresh in my mind and I remembered everything. Regardless what anybody says, my favorite series. Can't hate on it. You can tell me all the bad things about it. I love the Shadowhunter series. I just love the Shadowhunter series, so I'm obsessed. I will reread them 1,000 times if I have to. This specific book is about, you're mainly following a girl named Cordelia, although you do kind of get insights of everybody a little bit here and there. Cordelia moves to London to try and gain more friends with the Shadowhunters that she's grown up with. Cordelia's father is put on trial for something that had happened, and she moves to London to become friends with more Shadowhunters so she can kind of get people on her side to get the consul to sway to his side. Along the way, you meet her parabatai, or her soon-to-be parabatai, Lucy Herondale, and her brother James, which there's some feelings there. If you read it, you know. So basically, a lot of random demon activity happens, and at times that it shouldn't be happening, like during the daylight. It gets a little crazy. So you're finding out the story of what's going on. It has to deal with, I don't want to give anything away, so just read it. It's great. It's shadow hunters, demons, fighting, Victorian style. What's not to fucking love about it? It's so good. Oh, and love, romance, betrayal. Of course, God, it has everything. But yeah, you'll definitely hear about Chain of Iron come March, because I'm going to read it, and this will forever get a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Don't hate me, don't at me. I love this series. So that was all that I've read in February. Like I said, I didn't get to achieve too much, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes you just got to take the mental break, and it's all right. So I hope you enjoyed this. All right, and that's all that I read for February. Stick around for what I read in March, I hope, and maybe my cosplay video. We'll work on that one. I will see you guys around later. Bye.